cleaning up under caution at Talladega. Sunday, May 20th, it's the season's biggest music event featuring music's biggest stars with a special tribute to Whitney Houston. Hosted by Modern Family, Ty Burrell and Julie Bowen. Live from the Vegas Strip, the Billboard Music Awards. Sunday, May 20th on ABC. Got 52 laps to go, and as we get set to go back racing in one more lap, seeing a variety of people going to top off that fuel tank. Keselowski, Sam Hornish, Kevin Harvick, Kenny Wallace. That's Ryan Truex, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. A little bit from the restart. Danica Patrick, our in-race reporter today, is in 10th position.
Danica, Dale Jarrett, you have a copy?
Copy.
Well, you've a little over halfway here. Any surprises for you there today, or your car, you're satisfied with it?
Everything's good. It's just a matter of time here. We get such big runs with this spoiler, so you can either choose to hang low or you can get, take runs and use them, but you're running a little more risk that way. So I've done a little bit of both.
You pretty much know what you need to do at the end of this race right now?
Oh, I don't know if that's the case, but I'm going to start trying to hone in on it here.
Okay, good luck. Thanks.
A couple other small details to clean up before the restart. Josh Richards got the free pass on the caution. He comes back onto the lead lap in the 39 car, left of the screen and right of the screen. Justin Allgaier, remember we saw him coming to pit lane under green, and then we had to look away because there was the crash ahead of him on the racetrack. Well, he's getting a penalty for speeding entering pit road. Watch his pit entry here.
Yeah, there's a reason the right front tire was flat. He locked him up and way too much speed coming in.
Yeah, the reason we didn't see that is start-finish line is on the other end of pit road, and that's where our announce booth is, right above the start-finish.
And that little crash that distracted.
Yeah, we were distracted a little bit, too.
So, going to go green with 50 laps to go. We're going to have 28 cars on the lead lap. And at the head of the line, a couple of the youngsters and the future of this sport. Austin Dillon in the 3, Cole Whitt in the 88. Green flag. Jr., Cole Whitt's boss and team owner, right behind him in the draft. Will they push him to the point?
Oh, I believe he's going to. Busher Heck got up onto the back bumper of the 3, Austin Dillon, and was keeping him out front there, but Junior's attached to that 88. I believe they'll be leading by the time they get to the start-finish line way down here.
Danica talked about going to try and find out what she needed to do. As Cole Whitt goes to the point, Elliott Sadler teaming up with Patrick in the draft in that outside lane. Let's see if they make a move.
Yeah, and she seemed confident in knowing what her car can do, but still learning process to knowing what you're going to be able to do and how you're going to do it at the end of this race.
And that whole dynamic of this draft is going to change when it gets to about 4 or 5 laps to go.
Sadler, the championship leader, Jamie.
Well, under that caution, Alan, they called an audible to bring him back down pit road to top him off. But the reason he had this stuck in the grill, it's a Heim off of someone's sway bar. They could have avoided disaster. They topped him off, and out he went.
Maybe one of those cars in the crash, shedding parts. And while you watch the racing left screen, right screen, look at finding unexpected parts and pieces in places on your car where they don't belong.
Yeah, they dig it out of there and put a little patch on it.
Right now, Danica's glad he made that extra pit stop.
Yep.
Allowed them to get teamed up together. They're up to 3rd right now. Sadler's going to have to get a little air to the front of that 2 car.
He's off. He's off of you. He must have got hot.
Cole Whitt in the 88 leading. Dale Jr. in the 5. 5, second. Danica Patrick in the 7, third. First, second, and third for Junior Motorsports.
I think they've done their homework here this week. I heard Pop say that they really worked on the grill and the cooling system to make that car where it could push, and he's been able to do that today very effectively and for a long time. I think he's going to be a real factor when it comes down to a couple to go.
And then the snarling pack behind it.
Mike and Kenny Wallace, 99 and 01, teamed up once again, making their way back towards the front. Comes Harvick. I think he's been testing a lot to see how long it takes him to get back to the front. He chose to stay out, lead a lap. Might have been to get a point for owner's points there, but I think he just likes to see what it's going to take and give himself a little bit of a challenge there, too.
Watching the Wallace brothers there. Of course, Kenny Wallace. This 99 car driven by Travis Pastrana last weekend. He's going to the point. Kenny says he's not racing for the championship anymore. Doesn't have sponsorship to run every week. He knows what he wants to do.
Hey, there's one run just right hot. Looks like Mike Wallace spewing a lot of water right there.
Here's what Kenny had to say about his goal for the day.
You know, I feel like I'm going to win this race because I'm coming down here wide open. I'm not coming down here. I'm not in the driver's points. You know, Carter points are very important, but we're locked in that. I've talked to crew chief Scott Zipadelli. He wants to win.
He looks like he has a shot at winning.
Oh, yeah, I talked to him yesterday for quite a while. He's really confident that he can win here. He wants to so bad just because he wants to be in the series full time. They have to get sponsorship for him to be able to do it. He feels like winning would be a good step in that direction to get a sponsor.
3 wide up front. Patrick to the outside of Earnhardt. Wallace down low.
Yeah, I think Danica might have thought that Elliott Sadler was going to push her around Dale Jr., but Elliott hung her out there, and now she's falling back, and he's attached to Junior's bumper.
It's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. coming up behind Patrick in that 6 car. And you look in this pack, broader picture, while the experience or the familiar names are racing up front for the lead, look at the guys in the middle of the pack that's getting dicey there, but you got Jeremy Clements in that silver 51 car, Taylor Malsom in the 19, Josh Richards in the 39, all in the mix into these final laps as Elliott Sadler goes to the lead.
As this intensity builds, you can see how that stack up can occur. Everybody's trying to go and a lot less give and take, and that thing starts stacking up. Once it gets about 4 or 5 cars deep, it's almost impossible to avoid it.
Yeah, Kyle Busch did a fantastic job. It looked like that everything happened right in front of him there, and he was able to get out of the throttle. His brother Kurt right behind him, so they worked well together to avoid disaster.
200-mile mark at Talladega. Still anybody's race and a lot of unpredictable action to come. Live at Talladega. Perhaps a little overheating from Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s car. Not perhaps. See the water's shooting out the overflow as he tries the push draft with Danica Patrick. And we come down to the 40-lap-to-go mark. 28 cars on the lead lap.
That's not an alarming amount of water coming out of that overflow, but that over time can kind of compromise that cooling system.
Yeah, he's been on our bumper for quite a while now. They came from probably back around the 18th spot.
Look out. Don't get too off center. New leader, Danica Patrick.
Straight, nice and straight.
Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr.
5's right outside the 6, outside the 6 here.
Be a little experiment on Junior's part.
Yeah, and the one thing that he did is he got the 6 off of the 7's bumper by getting over on his quarter panel.
It's an old trick, that side draft, because it can slow the car down. It can really slow that car down if you pull down on that right rear corner of the car.
Nemechek pushes Earnhardt Jr. to the point. So put me behind the wheel. You've had great success at this style of racing. You're watching all this unfold. You're feeling the race around you. You think you have an understanding of your car's capabilities. How do you figure out where to be and make a plan when everybody else around you has their own plan?
That's the problem, is getting on the same page with somebody else that's there. And it's just a matter of getting yourself positioned. And I think Dale Jr. is very comfortable with knowing what he's capable of with his race car. When it comes time to go, he knows he's going to get some help.
One of your sayings that stuck with me about racing in this style of racing, you want to be moving forward at the finish.
Yeah, when you get inside that last 10 laps especially, and you can even get it down further than that, but you unless your car is just exceptionally strong, you've got somebody that's going to stay attached to your bumper here, which is probably not going to happen for very long. You want to be going forward. And that's whenever you can make things happen. It's hard to block them coming at such a high rate of speed if they get hooked up. As we see the 33, and I believe that's the 3 on his bumper.
That's 54.
54.
Talking about making plans and trying to figure out how it's all going to unfold with just the potential for one more pit stop remaining in this race. Information among potential drafting partners being passed around. We've seen Joey Logano and Elliott Sadler drafting together a lot. That sign says, fuel only on last stop, no matter what.
That way that they know what each other they're going to do, and they're not going to get separated by making a pit stop where one's changing tires and one's not.